Welcome back to TTS Daily. I'm Yi, and we'll start off our story with the Game Awards that happened in December. Okay, so earlier this year, when Black Myth Wukong released, all of us were clamoring for Black Myth Wukong, and we all said Black Myth Wukong is our Game of the Year. So the Game Awards was in December, and we have our Game of the Year now. It is Astrobot. Astrobot, a single-player action platformer by Sony. For Sony PlayStation 5. Yes, people asking, what? Huh? Influencers, pro players like Shroud, XQC are saying, hey, this is rigged. The awards are rigged. How can Black Myth Wukong not win this? Attendees at the Game Awards shows were shocked to see Black Myth Wukong development team members actually crying at the award show when they realized they lost out on Game of the Year. Regular attendees were shocked. They have never seen a team tearing up after losing out on Game of the Year. Black Myth Wukong developer Game Science CEO Feng Ji expressed strong disappointment on social media following the loss. He criticized the selection criteria for Game of the Year. He said and asked many times, "May I know what is the criteria for Game of the Year? Because I'm very confused exactly what is the criteria for Game of the Year." And he felt like it is a waste of time for them to be there because, they are a China development company, so they actually travel all the way here. And he even shared with everyone that he actually prepared a Game of the Year acceptance speech 2 years ago. Talk about manifesting your dream. You were just so close, you almost manifested. Reaction from fans around the world are mixed. Some saying that, the CEO was kind of like a little bit of bad sportsmanship, I mean, you didn't win, you should at least, applause and cheer on for the eventual winner. Some were saying, yes, the CEO does make sense because if you look at performance-wise, Black Myth Wukong sold 20 million copies. Astrobot sold 1.5 million copies. So Black Myth Wukong, revenue-wise, did at least 10 times better than Astrobot. Black Myth Wukong took 7 years to develop. Astrobot took 3 years to develop. Even the amount of time, is it comparable? But anyway, Black Myth Wukong still won 2 other awards that night. They won Best Action Game and Player's Voice. So the CEO did say, ultimately it is still gratifying that we won these 2 awards. Although, it's disappointing that we lost on Game of the Year, that is like the prime award that everybody wants to win, So who would have won your pick for Game of the Year? Pokemon Pocket? We are still in the USA, where there is a shocking story that happened on December 20th, 2024 in Florida, where a 22-year-old pizza delivery worker delivers a pizza to a customer at the Riviera Motel at Florida, okay? The total order value of the pizza was $33.10. So the delivery worker, Brianna, delivers the pizza and the customer only has a $50 note, and Brianna was unable to provide change. So in the end, the customer gave her only a $2 tip. So, in the West, in America, they have a very strong tipping culture because apparently service workers in the F&B industry, in the food and beverage industries, rely on tips to survive because they aren't being paid enough for a living wage. So Brianna was very dissatisfied with the tip, so much so that she returned later on to the motel room with a unidentified male accomplice. Okay, the male accomplice was armed with a pew-pew. Okay, and she went there and forced their way into the room where Brianna took a sharp object and started attacking the woman. In case I forgot to mention, the customer was actually a pregnant woman with a 5-year-old daughter. The pregnant woman suffered 14 wounds while protecting her 5-year-old daughter. Brianna was finally arrested the following day and faces charges including attempt murder, home invasion with a firearm, kidnapping, and aggravated assault. The male accomplice remains unidentified and is still at large. The mother, the pregnant lady, survived but will need surgery for a punctured lung. This kind of pettiness over a tip that leads you wanting to unalive someone is just ridiculous. And how she can even find someone like-minded as her to accompany her there with weapon is just such senseless violence. What is happening to the world? Okay, we're back in Singapore where Mr. Tan right here, he bought a condominium unit in JB, Johor Bahru. He thought it was a 99-year leasehold condo until he realized the 275,000 Singapore dollars that he paid for wasn't a 99-year leasehold condo. It was actually a 99 years private lease scheme, PLS. It sounds similar, right? But it's different, okay? So a PLS doesn't give Mr. Tan ownership but a long-term tenancy, a 99 years tenancy. PLS means the developer retains ownership and buyers have limited rights to rent or sell. This was not clearly communicated, leading to confusion among a lot of Singaporean buyers. Mr. Tan, along with about 100 other buyers, is in a legal dispute with the developer to convert the PLS to a leasehold property to gain full ownership rights. They argued they were not informed properly about the PLS. Value of properties under a PLS can be affected since buyers don't own the property. You can't even call them buyers. I mean, okay, they probably can call them buyers since they bought the PLS. So buyers don't own a property but lease it for a period. Selling such properties is similar to selling a rental agreement rather than a property itself. Okay, at least 70 buyers have lodged complaints against the real estate agent in Singapore. Legal experts stress the importance of understanding local property laws and getting professional advice when investing abroad. A lot of people are very interested to live in JB, even dear friends of mine around us, because it is tempting because, you know, our traffic back and forth between Singapore and JB, Johor Bahru, is getting better and better, and the prices are very attractive. So yeah, but please, everyone, exercise due diligence, okay? Over the past month in Singapore, near Causeway Point Mall and Woodlands MRT station, there has been a series of thefts, and the suspect/culprit is actually a 14-year-old boy. He has at least stolen 6 e-bicycles, which has been since recovered. And also, he targeted those e-bikes from food delivery workers. So besides taking the bicycle, he would also open up the food delivery bags and, you know, take the food too. So the boy even once took a folding bike onto a bus, but police have recovered it, okay? So this boy is 14 years old, but he is diagnosed with ADHD and he has special needs. He attends a special education school but has been refusing to go. So if you're thinking, why is there no one to, you know, to watch over him, to teach him how to, you know, behave in social settings, why is he doing this repeatedly? It's because he lives with a single mother, but the single mother is, you know, the single mother is a cleaner and she is struggling with her day-to-day work commitment that she doesn't have the time to supervise him, even so much so that sometimes when she goes home and she realizes her son isn't home at 11 p.m. and she needs to go down and find him. So, and the mother also shared that she has an older 24 years old son who has autism and is in a special care facility. So she has already applied for her younger son to also be admitted in the special care facility along with her older son. This goes to show us that a lot of people, sometimes certain things that they do, there might be context and background that we are not seeing deep enough, you know, like why is this boy repeatedly repeating this? So this boy has special needs, but why isn't the family like caring for him? Because the family has social economic issues to deal with also. So it's not easy in this time and age. So all we can do as a society is to be more forgiving and accommodating to each other, you know, help your neighbors out, everyone. For our final story of the day in Singapore, on 26 December 2024 Boxing Day, there were 2 cases of unnatural deaths reported in the morning. First, at 9:05 a.m, police were alerted to a case of an unnatural death under an overhead bridge at Telok Blangah Road. They found a 36-year-old man described as Caucasian by witness lying there motionless. The area was cordoned off with a blue tent set up, and 3 lanes of traffic were closed as there were visible blood stains on the ground. Police retrieved a suitcase believed to be belonging to the deceased from the bridge, but he was pronounced deceased at the scene by an SCDF paramedic. Later that morning, at approximately 11:35 a.m, another distressing incident occurred at Block 88 Dawson Road, Skyview Dawson Estate in Queenstown. A 19-year-old man was discovered deceased at the foot of the block. A paramedic from the Singapore Civil Defence Force confirmed his death on site. Both cases are currently under police investigations and they have been labelled as unnatural deaths. Just take care, everyone. Stress is high, we all know that, but there are helplines to help you. Call the helplines, get some help, find somebody that can listen to you. If there's no friends or family around you that can listen to your problems, call the helplines. That's why we have these helplines. Get help. Please get help. And stay safe.